Hey everyone, I am back with Crypto Eyes for another epic Zoom interview. Today we're going to talk about how people are getting rich with altcoins on Bitunex, and I've been missing the boat. Here we are, okay? Crypto Eyes, are you there?
I am.
You are. We were talking about how some people have the ability to make like $10,000 a day, and the anomaly was making $5,000 a day, and I broke it down because I like to trade Bitcoin. Okay, and I'm like, if I could do 10 trades a day, which is easy, it only takes a few minutes with high leverage, right? You know, 10 trades a day times, and I hate to talk about income, but 10 trades a day times $1,000 a piece, you're a millionaire 3 times over, okay, in a year. And the thing with that is, you don't have to have gotten into Bitcoin at $1,000 or $100 Ethereum. So none of you are at a disadvantage. You can all be like Crypto Eyes and everybody else in my Discord, learning how to take advantage of opportunities. And Crypto Eyes, I really appreciate you coming on today and talking about altcoins and your strategy, because you're the queen of altcoins. You
Thank
asked,
you for having me.
yeah,
I
yeah,
look forward to talking about this strategy.
good. So we were on your. You said your favorite exchange to do this on is Bitunex, right?
Correct.
Okay. So we just went down. We went to regular futures USDT, and I'm always trading BTC. Okay. And by the way, she has a bias of going long. We talked about that in part one. All right. But today we're talking only about the altcoin strategies because people are getting rich. And damn it, you know what? I've spent 10 years becoming an expert on Bitcoin. I want to know how to do this too. So we go to Tuna and we do this change right here. Go ahead, walk me through it.
So if you go to the change and look at the first one, that's right at the bottom of that list, which will be
You mean red?
negative 24% in
Here.
red. Correct.
Hi.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're working our way up, and this is if you don't get an alert on your phone with in relation to an altcoin that's pumping or dumping. It even gives you alerts on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but sometimes I focus on the altcoins. So I will wait for a signal that comes through my mobile phone,
From
and it tells me
Bitunex.
that Bitunex, the app on my phone, it
Okay.
will tell me that a an altcoin is pumping or dumping, and it usually does that within the first 5 minutes or so of that coin pumping or dumping. And what I usually do is I don't rush into the trade. I will go in and have a look at that coin and what's happening. But
Okay.
for an example for this video, we will just go through. I will just walk you through one of the strategies that I like to use, and that is going into the daily chart of that altcoin.
That's where
And
we are
usually,
now.
when altcoins, correct, that's where we are now. So if you scroll across and look at the history of that coin, has it has it broken its all-time high or not? Or is it just starting to break? So if we were to take this trade, we would take it from the bottom. So we would take it from there. If you go back on those candles to the very first indecisive red candle
The first
on the top,
indecisive red. Here.
that
Yes.
one, yeah. So if you look at that across, it's broken that zone. So that tells me that that coin is pumping, or it's going to break its all-time high. So I watch around this area to see what it's going to be doing. And usually I'm in and out. So if you look at that candle, I would go in from just where that pin has started to just where the second pin of the daily has ended.
So wait. So this is a 1 day chart. You're all the way back
Correct.
here. This is several days ago.
Several days ago. So if the current candle, the second last green candle is forming,
Wait, the
I would
second
wait
to
for it to
last
break.
green candle. Are you on this side?
Correct. On the right hand side.
Okay, so
The
this one.
yep, so that one, yes. So I'll be watching that candle to see if it's broken that zone that it was ranging at before. So the candle that I showed you before, the red indecisive, I would be watching if that the current green candle goes past that candle, and I know that something's happening in this point of reference, which is this zone. So if it breaks the zone, I know it's going to go and break its all-time high, or even just go before the all-time high and dump.
But to me, when
So
I
I'd
look at
usually get it
this,
there.
when I look at this, it looks like it's weakening on the daily. I see the price going up as we're talking. Okay, I see it weakening on the daily. Do you ever drill down and look at, for example, the 6 hour and the 1
Yes. So
hour?
using the daily chart, I would then go into doing the drawdown. So I'd go all the way into the 3 minute to see what's happening in the moment.
Here.
Correct.
Okay, and so do you do any relation to Bitcoin when you do this? Do you care where Bitcoin is in the moment when you're trading
Well,
an altcoin?
sometimes I do, because some altcoins will move when Bitcoin moves. So if Bitcoin is pumping, some altcoins will pump as well. So I try and look for those altcoins that pump and dump when Bitcoin pumps and dumps, because those altcoins are usually pretty easy to figure out and get in. So if I'm seeing that Bitcoin has broken a new whole number and it's going into the middles and it's going to turn around and come back down, I'd usually go into that altcoin and wait for a short.
Okay, so do you like to predominantly, when you hunt your victims here, okay, do you prefer to look for what's in the deep red? Or do you work based on, oh, something's really pumping, like, look, 45%. If that keeps pumping and you check the 6 hour and the 1 hour and all of that, if you add 5x leverage to that, do you look at it that way, or do you prefer to ride a loser up? And we have the perfect examples right here, side by side, a winner and a loser. What do you like to choose?
It just depends on the flow of the altcoin. Some altcoins move very quickly. Say a 10-cent move will be 1,000 plus.
Yep.
And so I look at what's currently moving at the moment. So if you look at the numbers, you can see AIA.
Yes.
You can see the numbers moving. The percentages are moving. So I watch where the percentages are going. Is it going towards 50%, or does it keep coming back to 40% and dropping down to 39%? And when can I enter? And if I'm looking at what's at the top, which is AIA, I'd be looking at what's happening with the time now, which is we're going into an AM pump. Right. And usually it will usually happen when this coin can pump at the same time Bitcoin pumps. So I'd be watching that altcoin to see, has it broken its all-time high, or is it going to break its new all-time high?
All right, so let me guess. Okay, I would say that based on the time of morning, okay, it's 8:33 a.m. on a Sunday. Usually we pump around 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Never promised, but we can tell by the candles. Right now we have the Green Army struggling to take a second position here. So now I would think that that Bitcoin would pump and this might pump because people would FOMO. How much?
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you sometimes, I know that you get thousands of percent. I said thousands of percent. I've seen it. Okay, forget these people with their little poo-poo 45%. And I've seen 7,500%. I mean, look, you dwarf this stuff.
Co-Crypto said Monad shorts plus 44%, plus 27%, plus 22%. Thank you, Oracle.
I don't know where it is. I don't even think you put it here, but I seen a screenshot of 7,500%. Okay, and 25,000%. Blows my mind. So you're like a tactician. You really take your time and study this a little bit.
Correct. I really put in a lot of effort into finding a good altcoin that's going to be pumping, or I look at Bitcoin and what it's doing. So in relation to what Bitcoin is doing, I will look for those altcoins that will sort of move, and I look at the candles and I watch the behavior of the candle and how it's working in relation to that altcoin. If Bitcoin is slightly pumping and the altcoin is lightly pumping, I know that altcoin is going to move with Bitcoin.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you do isolated or cross?
isolated.
Yeah, because one of these can really tear your face off if it goes wrong. what,
Correct.
what kind of leverage do you use on these altcoins? Usually, wait, let
With
me
certain
preface
altcoins,
this. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I like to use like 86x on Bitcoin, but altcoins do not move. I mean, Bitcoin does not move 44% in one day. What kind of leverage do you use?
um, minimum I would go is 5x
Yeah.
and maximum 20x.
Wow, that's strong. Wow, it's so crazy. Everybody thinks that I am hyper aggressive when I trade with the leverage I use and everything, but I'm a sissy when it comes to altcoins. I do like 5x because I think, look, it already moved 46%. Okay,
Correct.
you add a little bit of spice to that, like 5 or 10x, and it gives you a little room so you don't get liquidated. And do you base your entry on what I've taught always about waiting for the up and down here on the low time frame?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, because with altcoins you can't mess around with your entry. Because if you think you've entered short, you've actually entered at the top of that candle. So I really wait and I'm really patient when it comes to altcoins. They're not to be messed with unless you're comfortable with trading altcoins and you have a lot of experience with their behaviors and how the candles move and how the numbers move. And I try to pick the altcoins that have a similar digit to Bitcoin. For example, we're looking at AIA
Yeah.
and you've got 07708. So I try and look for altcoins that can kind of give me some kind of protocol that I can work with.
So wait, what do you mean by that? Like a whole
So
number
I
kind of
look
thing?
at,
I took a screenshot because we go price blind. Okay.
correct.
So I want to know where this thing is going. And my screenshot gives me an anchor. We're at 77.12. Now we're at 76. We're going down a little bit. And that should show in
Correct.
the 1 minute. Look, look at that. The bigger the candle, the bigger the move. The smaller the candle, the weaker the move. It even applies here to altcoins.
Yes.
So go ahead,
So
continue.
I look at the last three digits of the altcoin, which is 697,
Yeah.
and I watch 697 and what 697 is going to do within the next 10 minutes.
So you're considering the 0.07, the 7, as a whole number?
Correct. 7 is my whole number.
Oh, that's so sick.
And the last three digits are my middles, high coordinates, low
Oh
coordinates.
my God, that's genius. Hold on. So people at home know. Hold on. For everyone that doesn't know, what Crystallize is talking is that there are known Bitcoin patterns that break a whole number or make us go to the next whole number up. Okay, this is inside my Discord. You can see it. But when she talks about the middles, 400, 500, 600s, whatever. But look at Bitcoin right now. We are at 900. Look at the chart right now. We're getting close to the next whole number up. So she applies this genius, okay, to the altcoin as the 7 being the whole number. And like she said, we're in the middles. And look, it's starting. You didn't want to long up here. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Jack got liquidated and Jill got everything. So you don't want to long up here. You want to wait your turn. But Crystallize, go ahead. I'm finding this. Oh, wait. And let's check the price. 7712. Now it's 7.5. So we're going down. A little chop. But so go ahead. So we're analyzing this altcoin together.
Correct. So I usually like to have, say, if it's an altcoin that has, it's the digits, you'd see it's 0.760,
Yeah.
7 now, 6. I'd look at the last three numbers and what it's doing. Is it going to break 8 cents or is it going to keep going down? So I watch here and wait. This is like going into the upper coordinates. So I'd be waiting down around here. And if it doesn't go and hit 700, I know it's coming back down.
So if this, let's say Bitcoin is about to pump, I see it at 73.9 on the top of my screen. Okay. And so this will probably pump if Bitcoin pumps. Where do you try to enter under the whole number of 7? Did you say yes?
With altcoins, you try to enter at about the 100 mark, because they move between digits like no tomorrow. So that it will go from 600 to 100 before you know it. You blink and it's below 0.7.
Right.
And you can see what's happening now. We were
Yes.
above 600 and now we're at 500. If you keep blinking, you'll be at 200. So I try to pick a number where I'm comfortable with,
Yeah.
but I also do the drill down as I'm watching the number to see what the candle's actually doing. So if you go to the 15-minute candle,
Oh, let me add that.
it's actually quite good.
Oh, let me add that. I don't really use the 15-minute, but let's put a star there. I used to in the old days, but sometimes you streamline too much. I've always tried to streamline. So yeah, so we can start a drill down for people that don't know. Okay, this is the ocean. Okay, the bigger the candle, the bigger the move. The smaller the candle, the weaker the move. We only really look here. It's weakening on the 6 hour. We can see there's a little bit of a struggle on the 1 hour, but it wants to go up again. And then going down to the 15-minute, crystallize. You want to take over? You want me to drill down?
You can drill down.
Okay. Should I go all the way down to the 1 minute?
Yes.
Yeah, on this it'll really tell us something. There we go. It's weakening
Correct.
a little bit in the moment. And the price, let's go to our screenshot, 77.12. We're at 75.14. So what would make you think that this altcoin, okay, why would you not want to, why are you more confident? Here's my question. I love to short. Why are you more confident going long on this that's up to the moon and nobody's ever heard of it than shorting it?
Because I will be watching for the high of that altcoin to see whether it's going to break the all-time high or not. If it's not going to break the all-time high, it's going to work towards it. And that's when I kind of get in and out as it's pumping and dumping. So I would take a long, I'd take a short, take a long, take a short, and have breaks in between. So I scalp in and out with those altcoins because they move quite quickly. It's like they could do a $2,000 move with Bitcoin in a few seconds. So if you're looking at this particular altcoin's not really a very good example, but we're just looking at it for the purpose of the video. We're looking at it all the way down to the 1 minute. It looks like it's becoming weaker on the red.
Yeah.
And so that's what gives me a feeling that this is going to break the high of the 1 minute and probably break the high of the 3 minute, break the high of the 5 and the 15.
So interesting.
And this coin has gone all the way up to 0.8701.
I think that Bitcoin is going to pump over the whole number of 74,000. Now, do you ever trade Bitcoin or just altcoins?
I trade Bitcoin all the time. Bitcoin is, I've traded it for a very long time, so I'm quite comfortable in learning the protocol from the very beginning. It's always made sense to me, and so I feel very, very comfortable with Bitcoin. I don't have to do a lot of study when I'm going into a trade with Bitcoin. I'd usually take it, like I said, I'd wait for it to go up to 700, 888, 950. If it taps back down, I'd make an entry there. And it will usually pump above the whole number, and I'd usually take my profit around the 200. If it's the whole number, 200, 250, that's where I'd close my trade. Correct.
Okay. So that's so interesting. Now, I mean, look at that. I usually never mess with altcoins. So again, you said that this one is not a great example. Is that because?
Yeah, but it is pumping, as you can see from the 15-minute candle that I showed you before. I said that candle doesn't have a pin at the bottom, so it looks like it's a good candle. So the second candle that's formed on my one, it's showing me this.
Hold on one moment. So crystallize. You've been on with me for a while. This is our second video together. What do you want to talk about, or what do you want to say?
There was one thing that I just answer one of the questions that was asked in the group as to what
Yeah.
I do before I go into a trade, or if the trade turns against me, how have I overcome it?
Yes.
And I'd say you got to believe in your trade.
Oh.
You can't guess that you're going to win the trade. You must go in knowing that you're going to win that trade, and you usually will.
Believe in your trade like a religion. That's what I do.
Correct.
That's what I do. As a matter of fact, I've been in some nasty fights with trades, meaning I've made many videos showing me down, okay? And, most people lose not because they're liquidated. Most people lose because they're afraid of liquidation. And it's really not the leverage, it's the distance between you and liquidation. But I send my trade out like a kamikaze. Okay, my
Yep.
trade, I mean, if I have a short in, I don't care if Bitcoin pumps against me. There are ways that we talk about in the Discord to protect ourselves. Okay, and I just let my trade go. I don't sit there and watch every moment of it, every tick. Not at all.
Yep.
Okay, on my phone, I'll occasionally check the price. That's only if I'm stuck. A lot of trades are just easy fun, jackrabbit.
Yes.
But the hardest
Yep.
part, especially when you're using leverage and something fast moving like this thing went up 43% today on its own. You add leverage to that,
Yep.
you have a nitro rocket ship. And if
Right.
you've only been on the merry-go-round and all of a sudden we throw you on a nitro rocket ship, you might throw up instantly. The most dangerous part of the trade is the entry, because most trades, I don't know, you tell me, for me, no matter how good I am, even after 10 years, at high leverage, many times, I would say 30% of the times, a trade goes against me before I win.
Yes.
And so I stay. I don't care if it's pump time coming, I'll go do other things. So, do you like altcoins more than Bitcoin? Which one makes you more? I don't care how much money. Which one makes you more wins? Altcoins or Bitcoin?
Altcoins, definitely altcoins, because altcoins, you can scan so many altcoins you can trade. And I never trade the same altcoin after 5 goes. If I trade 3-4 times of that altcoin, I'll move on to the next one. And even regardless if it's pumping or dumping, it's just my thing.
Okay.
I would move to the next one. So I wouldn't stick to the same altcoin and keep trading it, because then you'd come to a point where you just over traded that coin and you end up losing it all.
So, my way of thinking is, this coin in front of us, I would be like, this coin has no right to go up. Okay, it's
Right.
garbage. I never heard of it. It's a piece of shit. I would want to short it, but I would probably, and that's why I don't trade altcoins, because I don't put in. I just stick with Bitcoin because I know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like, if a person sees something going up a lot or they see something going down a lot, they go with that trend. I go against that trend. So you're saying
Yeah.
that you I don't know. How do you want to address that? I don't want to guide you what to say.
Like I said before, if that altcoin's come out of nowhere and it's heading towards its all-time high, it's never broken it, and it's coming towards it, I would watch that altcoin closely, because if it breaks that all-time high, it would usually break another, or it would usually make another all-time high, and then dump from there. So if you wanted to short that altcoin, you'd be waiting for it to break the all-time high and keep going up, and wait when it starts weakening on the 15-minute time frame or the 3-minute time frame.
Okay.
Then you can start shorting.
And you use all the same candle reading techniques that I teach for
Correct.
Bitcoin. You just apply it to this. Okay.
That's right.
And for people at home, something that's moving 43% on isolated, how much leverage is good? I mean, you get thousands of percent. This shit is pumping. Okay. You know what? Wait, no, it's just moving up a little bit.
Coming towards it.
Yeah, I guess Bitcoin would have to pump first. We're still early for a Bitcoin pump, and
That's
it's pushing down right now. So there is a correlation between Bitcoin pumping and altcoins pumping or dumping in the moment, isn't there?
Yes, that's right.
Is there any, I teach people from all around the world how to trade. Is there anything, I mean, they're tired of hearing from me. They can't relate to me, okay? And I know what it's like to be liquidated. I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to be massively successful. Before we hang up, is there anything you would tell people who are in our group or trying to do this on their own? Any advice? Like, I know you prepare for your trades. You almost have a ceremony, from what I've read.
Yeah. Well, if I can do it, anyone can. I've been in that, I've had my moments where I've lost a lot of trades, and when I was learning how to trade cryptocurrencies, I've been that person where I think that I was going in the right direction and I get liquidated, and I get liquidated, and I get liquidated. It came to a point where I thought, I better learn this stuff, and I better learn it well, and I better learn it now. And so I went into looking at the charts, starting the protocol over and over again, looking at the daily, the critical times of the day, the movement of the numbers. And I started picking up certain behaviors of especially Bitcoin. And you can be that person. If you think you can't, I'm a women trader. Some people think I'm the best scalper in Melbourne, in Australia.
Yeah.
But it's just because I've put in a lot of effort. If you want to learn this stuff, it can make you a lot of money, but it can also wreck you if you don't know what you're doing. So understanding the protocol, and being in this Discord, it's an amazing community. We all share our how we do things and now little strategies here and there and what we do when we're going into a trade. And I think setting your mindset before getting into a trade is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, coming from a healthcare background, calmness is always the best way. Being calm. If you think that you haven't had a good day, it's not the best day to trade. I'd stay away.
That's such sage advice. I like to be calm when I trade too.
Yes.
This was amazing. This will help so many people. Everyone, you hold on. I'm going to say goodbye to Crystal Eyes. Wait, one last question. We have a lot of different rooms in the Discord for different things. Crystal Eyes, maybe I should make a room for altcoin trading. Do you think that's necessary?
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe you could, and then we could see what comes up out of it. Because I'm pretty sure there are a few people in the Discord that are very good at trading altcoins as well, and they might be able to share their strategies. I've only shared one that I use. I have a ton of strategies that I use for altcoins. You need to have, if you have a good gun, you need to have several types of guns, right? To be able to shoot a target in so many different ways. So I don't just use one strategy. I use a ton of strategies that work for me.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Okay. Wow, she was amazing. If you didn't see part 1, my first interview with Crystal Eyes, here she is. You know what? The links are below the video. Come in, join us. Click under the Lambos, the insanity. Click under any one of my videos, okay? Let me show you how to get in. First, you should always like my video, but I never ask, okay? I love to do this. This is my art form. I consider myself the teacher. So now, click show more. All right, let's see what we got here. Now, look, we're on your phone. I want everybody to see. In this video, you will learn... Yo, shut up, Oracle. Crystal Eyes was amazing. So here, we have... This is amazing. We have the Discord. Come in, say hello when you come in so we know you're not a bot. Bitunex, she loves that exchange. I love that exchange. Margex, Blowfin, some other backup exchanges. I'm doing a whole series of deep dives on these exchanges, even the ones that don't want U.S. citizens, like Bybit. Okay? BingX, it's sketchy. I'm going to go through everything. We will see you. Come in and meet her in the Discord and meet the legends. Oh, and by the way, how did she become a legend? I taught her. For 10 years, I have been teaching people the one-on-one consultation, the session with me, how to master Bitcoin trading. You've seen Johnny Boy in the testimonials. He posted this 5 years ago. It's been on my website. The same people. Consistency is key. You'll meet all of them in the Discord. If you book a consultation with me, it costs a fraction of a Bitcoin. It's you and I share the screen. I explain to you how to go to war with Bitcoin. War on the 1-minute chart, just using candles like nothing you've ever seen before. Forget technical analysis and staring at the screens. Email me, or if you're in the Discord, DM me directly. 0.05 of a Bitcoin, and you can pay that in Bitcoin or USDT. Just do the conversion in Google. Book your time with us now. It comes with lifetime access to the locked help rooms with me and all the legends like Crystallize that I've trained. That alone is priceless. Everyone, have a phenomenal day.